Welcome back. My name is Aaron.
My name is Collin.
And this is the Sports Hive Show. Woo! Wow, that was a good one.
Been built up for a week.
It's been longer than a week. We've taken some time off. We've taken some time off. You went snowboarding.
Correct.
I went to Disneyland with 13 people. Was it 13 people? 12. 12 people. And then it was just us.
Same difference.
Yeah, we went to Disney. That was a fun time. And of course, as we went ahead and had vacation time, the sports world went nutso.
Mm-hmm.
Right? During our usual nights that we record, bam, drops how many points?
83.
So I know you're a Kobe fan. So am I, right? And there's been a lot of talk about Bam's 83 versus Kobe's 21.
21.
Or 81. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. So is it Kobe still, or is it Bam?
It would, even NBA players would still have Kobe's ahead of Bam's. And like, people were calling it unethical hoops because of just how the Heat were like forcing him to get the shots off. Like, whether it was his own teammates missing like free throws, mind you, so Bam could get like an offensive rebound and then get fouled and da-da-da-da-da. And then they were doing that for the last like 5 or 6 minutes, I think, of the fourth.
Right.
And he didn't need to be in the game.
Right.
Like, they won by 30.
What was the end of the score? It was like one. I know the Heat had 149. I cannot remember the other team. I think it was like 120 something.
It was 150 to 129 against the Wizards.
Yeah, that's right.
So, the Wizards.
Of all teams.
So, he shot a combined 86 shots.
To get 83 points?
To get 83 points. He was 20 of 43 from the field and 36 of 43 from free throw.
That's insane.
Yeah.
36 and 43 for free throw. Like, that's utterly insane. So that means the rest of the squad probably got off, 30 shots together? 36 shots? I think I remember seeing that stat line.
Something super low because I think it, like, the total, like, field goal shot was, like, maybe, like, it was, like, 83 shots, I think. Something like that. Maybe. But he was ball hogging the whole time. At least at the end of the game.
Right.
Which, I mean.
So is Kobe's 81 better than Bam's 83?
Correct. Because it's more like I'm not saying that the Lakers needed Kobe's 81 because I think they won by like double digits against the Raptors that time.
And he didn't need 36 free throws.
Yeah, correct. 43 free throw attempts. And then there was another time where Kobe had like 60, I believe, going into the fourth quarter, and he sat the whole fourth. And that was like 3 weeks prior to him getting 81.
Right.
Then, so I have other performances. So Wilt, when he scored 100 points, quote unquote. But now that game is a little bit more believable. If Bam scored 83, I could definitely see Wilt scoring 100. Tyrese Halliburton said the same thing.
I mean, also Wilt played in a different era of basketball where he was just leagues and bounds way better than anybody else on the court.
He was also stealing people's shots because there was like this this old video of one of his teammates like shooting up. I don't think the 3-point line was invented yet, but it was like a jump shot. And then like Wilt kind of just like grabbed the ball out of the air and he was like, nah. And then so he just grabbed it and then laid it up.
That's funny.
And then so it was like, yeah, if he was getting points like that, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So when Wilt scored 100, he had 57.1% field goal percentage. Then Bam's 83, he had 54%. Kobe's 81, he had 68.5%.
Wow.
Wilt, when he scored 78, had 50%. Luka was 73 points, shot 87.9%. And that boy was cooking. And that's his highest scoring game. And he had his second highest yesterday when he scored 60.
And that, speaking of Doncic, that boy is cooking.
I know.
Through the Lakers' 8-game win streak right now. He's MVP.
As he should be. The only other person that I wouldn't be like butthurt if they were to win it over him would be Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Like, Jokic, he's had enough. Shea.
Just get him out of the talk. Just get him out of the talk.
And then Cade Cunningham, he's having a good season too.
He has a collapsed lung, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's playing right now.
So that might take him out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
probably out of MVP talk.
After last night, I think Luka went up from number 4 to number 2, and the 3 people ahead of him were Shea, Victor, and Jokic. And then Cade and Jaylen Brown are in there somewhere, I think.
Right. Sorry, we got sidetracked.
Yeah, and then Klay Thompson, when he had 73, shot 73%. And then Wilt had 73, shot 67%. 73 again for Wilt, shot 60%. So if you want to go through best overall game and field goal percentage, it would be Lucas at 73 with 87%.
No, for sure.
But then I don't know if he sat out like on purpose any amount of time or got pulled early that game. I can't remember. But
me neither.
I would still choose Luka's and Kobe's overall performances over
Bam's.
Bam.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would too.
Yeah. And then since 2000, there was like the best performances taking away free throws. So Kobe with 63, he would be at the top in the last 26 years. Luka with 58, Damian Lillard with 57, Brunson with 55, Curry with 54, Kobe with 54, Cat 52, and then Klay Thompson with 52.
And that's completely taking free throws out of the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Within the last 26 years.
But they're part of the game.
Correct. And then speaking of the game, somebody tweeted after Bam had 43 free throws, he was like, Steph got to take 35 threes one day before it's over to just see what happens.
For real,
and
though.
he was like, give the people what they want, Wardy.
That's awesome. So are the kids at school, when they're throwing pieces of trash or pieces of paper in the trash can, are they still yelling Kobe, or are they going to start yelling Bam because they don't know the difference? Because they're so young, you don't remember Kobe.
That's gross. But I think it's always been Kobe. For like a little bit there when I was in middle school. Skill. That was cool.
Skull.
I know. I knew you were going to go that way. I would yell Jimmer for like Jimmer Fredette when he was at BYU. Because I was at that time.
Yep.
So I'd say that or Kobe. And then there's a few kids that say like Steph or like Curry. Something like that. That's acceptable. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To an extent. But like anything else, no bueno.
That makes sense.
No bueno. And do you know the podcast that has like Gilbert Arenas and like Deshaun Stevenson?
Heard of it. I have not listened to it.
Swaggy P.
Yeah.
Swaggy P played on the Wizards for a while, and he was going off on like how like bad of a team the Wizards are, and how Bam's 83 is like not like
don't count.
Basically, like not good. Deshaun Stevenson said the same thing. I think there's a lot of like older players that aren't playing anymore that had said something because they can. Obviously, they're entitled to their opinion, and like even players now, like looked at the box score and some coaches. I think it was Udoka on the Rockets and then Mazzulla on the Celtics. Both were like,
I mean, when anybody sees 43 free throw attempts at 36 made, you gotta question it.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you're doing it not justice if you're not questioning it, because that's a little much. To have 36 free throws made out of 43 attempts, that's insanity.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that nobody on the Wizards fouled out either.
That is weird.
Which means it looks like everybody was getting a piece of the pie, as in like
fours,
so like
fives.
they all averaged like 4 fouls that game.
Yeah, right.
All 15 of them, or 12, however many you want to play that game.
Yeah. So the Lakers now said what, number 3 in the West?
Correct. They are
44 and 20.
I think they're 45 and 25.
Yeah,
as of last night.
They had that 8-game win streak, and they look really good.
What's crazy is though, is I've been talking to the missus about it, that with this 8-game win streak, the Lakers have won like what seems like 15 of their last 17 games, and one of those losses was that game we went to,
the Suns,
against the Suns.
And the Suns right now are on a 4-game skid.
That's great news.
Yep,
that's great news. But Booker had he scored.
Yeah, no, his
in the 40s or 50s here tonight, I believe.
40s,
43. That's what I thought.
And then 30s. So he's been stepping up. But last 4. We should have won the game last night against the Spurs, but we tanked at the end there. But that's right.
And you guys lost to the
by
Celtics too.
Lost by 1 with the Spurs last night. So that's cool.
Yeah, well,
But
Spurs are the best team in the NBA right now. They have the best record,
do they really?
I believe.
Yeah. Right now, what the Suns are destined to do is hit the
Play-in.
play-in tournament. That's what's going to happen. When they win their playing game, and then we're going to have to play the Spurs or OKC.
Or Lakers.
Yeah. Or the Lakers, which I would rather play the Lakers than OKC and the Spurs. For sure.
Right now?
Yep. I would feel more comfortable with the Suns possibly advancing if we were to play the Lakers. But if we play OKC or the Spurs, we're not winning that series.
Yeah, there's
Not going to happen.
you're not going to get
Even if healthy, we're not going to win against those two teams.
you're not going to get a whistle in favor of you guys against the Thunder.
Right.
Nor do you have anybody that could guard Wembanyama
Yeah,
on the
we
Spurs.
don't. Nope. Correct. That's why the matchup game is horrendous. Then that's what it's destined. That's what it looks like is going to happen. Like, we'll make the play-in tournament, and then we'll play either OKC or the Thunder. But if the Lakers keep winning games, I would so rather play the Lakers because I know we could beat them.
Yeah, it's.
It'll be a 7-game
Possible.
series for sure.
I really don't think it would be.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. The Suns aren't tossing up 53s every single night like they did that night that we went to.
Yeah.
Nor are they making like 30 of them. They were hot. They were steaming.
Yeah.
That
and
night.
that was without Booker.
Without
Brooks.
Booker and Brooks, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jalen Green scoring like 6 points.
Yep.
And it was only a 3-point win.
Right. We'll
So,
see.
like,
I
I
know the
don't-
Suns aren't going to do too much, but they are exciting to watch this year, which is pretty cool. And they're giving
Not what you expected?
no, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. All right, well, enough basketball for a moment. The NFL. We had, around the same time, Bam scored 83. We had the Raiders and the Ravens making a trade.
Mm-hmm.
What was that trade?
It was Max Crosby for 2 first-round picks. Sending him to the Ravens and then the 2 first-round picks to the Raiders.
So the Ravens think they have their guy, their edge rusher, and honestly one of the top free agents out there on the market.
Well, technically wasn't a free agent, but top player available.
Top player available, correct. And what the heck happened to the Ravens? Because came up that he had a failed physical,
Mm-hmm.
and then literally 2 days later, after the trade was rescinded, they pick up Trey Hendrickson for like a bag of chips and a cookie,
Well, no,
or giving away a bag of chips.
Trey's deal, since he was a free agent, was like 4 years and like $96 million, or it's like somewhere in the 90s, I believe. And he passed his physical, which, I mean, I don't know if it was the CEO or president or GM of the Ravens. They had said that their desired outcome was to trade for Max and then sign Hendrickson. So you had Max over here and then Hendrickson over here. And then supposedly.
Allegedly, that was his plan.
Yeah.
But the failed physical got in the way. But there's conspiracies out there that instead of giving up 2 first-round picks to get Max Crosby, they stopped that trade, went back on it, got their 2 first-rounders back, and still got an elite edge rusher in Trey Hendrickson
Yeah.
on a 4-year deal. I think it's worth $112, I believe.
Tomato at
Yeah,
that
right.
point. It's the same thing.
And to them, it's only $13.
Yeah.
$14. But there's that conspiracy, like, did the Ravens just screw over the Raiders and all that talk? And it was hot for a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have to wait and see to, like, what. If Crosby gets hurt again, then people are going to be like, okay.
Right.
Or if he takes a while to come back and play, then they're going to be like, okay. So then only if, like, those 2 outcomes happen, then people are going to be on, like, the Ravens side. But if Crosby comes out week 1 for some reason after his knee issues, guns a-blazing, then I don't know.
Exactly what everybody's saying.
There's a lot more outcomes that look bad for the Ravens as opposed to looking good for the Ravens.
Right.
So,
which is insane. All of that was crazy, and it was hot after the trade got rescinded because now the Ravens don't have their edge rusher. But now I think Raven fans are pretty chill about it because now they keep their 2 first-round picks, regardless of how it happened, and they still have that elite edge rusher coming to Baltimore next year.
Yeah, although I would probably run the risk of having Crosby instead of Hendrickson.
Think so.
Me personally, Crosby's way better. But because the best defensive ends in football are Crosby, Myles Garrett, and Parsons. Those 3. But
could you imagine, though, if the Ravens were actually able to pull it off? And
it'd
have
been
Crosby on one side and Trae on the other?
No, it would have been nice.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. They still would have choked in the playoffs.
Yeah, you would have had a bunch of you and me's playing in the secondary, but
right.
Because that's all they could afford.
Right, exactly. And then you have an offense that chokes in big games.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
With Lamar and Andrews and Henry and Zay. But
so what does that do for Joe Burrow now? Now every single time he plays his division, he's playing an elite edge rusher.
I don't know if the Bengals made any offensive line moves.
I was just about to ask that. Where do they sit in the draft to where they can focus on their line? Because that has to be their focus, is that offensive line. Because otherwise, Joe Burrow's going to end up like Andrew Luck. So much promise and have a short career, you know? Because if Joe Burrow could just get a good offensive line, regardless of all the elite edge rushers in his division, which is Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, and TJ Watt, and you're playing those cats 6 games out of the year versus your crappy O-line that you know sucks.
So I don't think, according to this, they only made defensive moves, which is a move that they also needed to do.
They did, yeah, because their defense was horrendous.
So they got Jonathan Allen from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then Boy Mafe, which he's an edge rusher, and then Brian Cook, who's a safety, which I think Cook might have been a trade, but I do not remember. Then they lost those exact positions with Hendrickson, Joseph Asai, who went to the Jets, and then Geno Stone. But so no offensive line movement. And then I don't know what their draft position is. I believe there's no way it's outside of the top 15.
Right. I was about to say it might be even top 10.
I think,
but I can't remember.
It is.
So there's a lot of offensive linemen in this draft, and top guys too. So I bet they go offensive line.
Yeah, they need
first
it
pick.
if they want to keep Burrow.
Yeah, for real.
Or trade for an offensive lineman.
Or trade Burrow.
Like, yeah,
he's gonna have. He's starting to remind me of Andrew Luck, to where he's gonna call it if he gets another season where he's getting sacked 90 times, or however much it is he gets sacked per season, and he keeps getting injured. Like, he's gonna call it.
Yeah, I would not blame him.
Yeah, no.
I'm not trying to get hit all the time.
And then speaking of skull, Kyler Murray going to the Minnesota Vikings. What do you think about that?
I'm shaking in my boots.
You think the Vikings found their quarterback for a year?
Absolutely not.
So now you got the Vikings, Kyler Murray, and J.J. McCarthy.
And Max Brosmer and Carson Wentz.
Which I think
Wentz re-signed.
He did re-sign, huh?
Yeah, and McCarthy's obviously still there, and then Murray's still there. Brosmer was a rookie last year, I believe. So I don't think they would have cut him.
And then Kyler's starting. I mean, there's the only reason why the Vikings would pick him up is to have him start for a year.
Maybe. It could be just like a Giant scenario where he starts for that first little bit, plays like shit, then JJ goes in, like how Russ was playing for the Giants at the beginning, and then Dart came in.
That's true. That could happen.
So it'll probably be something like that. It'll be like a week 4, week 5 switch to McCarthy probably, because
I hope so. I hope so.
I know you were talking big on McCarthy when he came into the draft.
I still like him. I still like him.
No, well,
I still think he's going to be a good quarterback.
You do like losers. That's why you like the Cardinals.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I don't see your team win nothing either. So you're still in the loser bucket with me.
No, well,
We're just at the bottom of the bucket. You're still in the bucket with me, though. All right.
Yep. As far as I'm concerned, there's 31 teams in that bucket, or 30 or 29. My fault. I was thinking NBA, but no, I was right. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how that move works out for them. They re-signed Aaron Jones for the Vikings, so that'll help a little bit.
And then you got JJ. You got Jetta out there.
Yeah, Jefferson, Hawkinson.
They have the makings of a good offense, like the Cardinals did last year.
Yeah, it was good with Sam Darnold there.
Right. But I don't know. You got the Cardinal fans out here that want to see Murray excel, but at the same time, like, kind of don't, because that would just be like the Arizona move to where somebody leaves and they go excel somewhere else. Because now you know that's an organization function or coaching staff in itself. But apparently, oh my gosh, what's the coach's name for the Vikings? It's totally escaping my mind right now.
Zimmer? Oh, O'Connell.
Yeah, Connell. I guess he's the QB whisperer.
Yeah,
that's what people call him.
I've heard that before.
Right. So, is he going to be able to QB whisper Kyler Murray and make the Vikings important in that division, or are the Bears winning that division next year?
Nice segue. No, the Bears are the only team that I would honestly be worried about. I'm not worried about the Vikings, and I'm not worried about the Lions.
Me neither. Not with Drew Petzing there.
No. But then Petzing went to the Lions. Gannon went to the Packers. Murray went to the Vikings.
Oh, that's funny.
So a little bit of the Cardinals went to the NFC North, other than the Bears.
That's funny. That's so true, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So with Kyler Murray shipped off, now we're wondering what the Cardinals are going to do at quarterback. And then, lo and behold, bam, out of nowhere,
Minshew Mania.
Minshew Mania is now in Arizona. Where did that come from? Because that was on nobody's radar anywhere.
Well, no, you just need a solid backup, I guess. A backup for your backup.
When you texted me that, I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? I was like, well, obviously Jacoby's now our starter because they signed him. They're not going to go for a quarterback in this year's draft. It doesn't make sense to. They're tanking.
No, your best bet is to, I guess, build like trade capital, I guess, with some players that you have.
We have 7 picks in this year's draft.
And then hope for a little Manning Jr. next season.
That's what everybody's thinking. Now
Manning and Harrison together again.
Exactly. Yep. 2.0. So we'll see what happens. I think they're obviously tanking because why else would you already name Jacoby your starter and have Minshew as your backup, which he is a solid backup. There's no lie about that. But, like, Marvin Harrison Jr. is in a make it or break it type of year, and he needs a quarterback. And I was kind of hoping for a new quarterback because he wasn't so hot with Jacoby. So I'm hoping this offseason they're working together to really make that connection strong this year. Because we have the makings of a legit offense, right? Because we got Marvin Harrison Jr., we got Kendrick Bourne from the Niners. We also got Duvernay, which I think he's going to be a return person. And then we lost Greg Dortch to the Lions. We lost our speed. And then I'm so blanking today, bro.
You talking about on your defense?
I was talking about offense. Algier. Algier's coming in.
Oh, yep.
And running back. He's going to be our number. He's going to fight Connor for number 1. I think they're going to be a 1-2 punch. So we'll see what happens and who's going to be taking those goal line stands there.
Well,
who's taking the middle of the field.
Connor always did better as like a 1-2 punch, like when he was behind Le'Veon,
right,
in Pittsburgh, and now Algier obviously with Bijan. But we'll see. I feel like they're both really good number 2s, but then both like iffy number 1s.
Right. And then the Cardinals signed Bam Knight, let go of Amari DiMercato. I can't remember where he went to.
I don't know. I would have kept DiMercato instead of Knight, but
DiMercato's the one that dropped the ball
at the goal line. That's
at the 1 yard line, and that Gannon kind of like slapped him in the face, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I had him in fantasy, so I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gone. I can't remember where he went to. Well, just blanking me. But with all those moves now, do we still go to the trench with a third pick? Because it looks like the Cardinals have their QB room and they have their running back room. We got receivers. We need an edge rusher and we need an offensive lineman. So knowing all that now, would you go edge or would you go O-line?
Either trade the pick or you go O-line, because even though I don't like that tactic, but you guys had like 11 picks last year and 10 of them were defense.
Right.
So probably not do that again.
Nope.
So either trade it for a quarterback like a Burrow, or you use it on offensive line, which is probably not another quarterback that I would take early other than Mendoza, and that'd be it.
Right, but the Raiders are going for him.
Of course.
Yeah. So I would hate to skip out on an edge rusher, but
also
because Reuben Bain Jr. coming out of Miami, solid dude, and I know the Cardinals love him. So I honestly would not mind if we got the edge rusher because we're already going to tank. I mean, might as well beef up your defensive line as well with a solid edge rusher.
I'm trying to think. You guys,
anyways,
have lost defensive players. Like you let go of Dalvin Tomlinson on the defensive line, and then Jalen Thompson's signed with the Cowboys.
That's true.
According to ESPN, the biggest roster hole is right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals need to address the other anchor of their offensive line at some point this offseason. It could be during the rest of the free agency, through a trade, although it's unlikely, or through the draft, which is the most likely avenue at this point. So no trade for you guys.
We'll see. I mean, we're not going to do anything this year. I'm just looking for the future. That's all I'm looking for. Having a good offensive tackle or a good edge rusher. But like you said, offensive linemen are a dime a dozen. You can find them in every round, right? But you can't find edge rushers in every round. Good, elite ones, you know?
Yeah, you trade for them.
Right. Exactly. So I really hope the Cardinals go edge. That's just my opinion.
Hit up the Raiders. Just give them number 3 for Crosby.
Yeah. I would do that.
There you go.
I would do that. What other big moves in free agency since the 11th have there been?
Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs.
Super Bowl MVP for the Seattle Seahawks is now a Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Are Chiefs winning the Super Bowl next year now?
I do not believe so. I don't think. I mean, like, obviously that is a huge difference maker because their run game has been dick.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years.
And Pacheco's no longer there.
No, he's on the Lions.
Yep.
Thank goodness, because he's not good.
So that
out of the 47th ranked running backs, he was number 47 last year. So
that's crazy. So is that a 1-2 punch now in Detroit?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'd rather have, like, if I was a Lions fan, I'd rather have it like be Gibbs and then like St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and then Pacheco. So he could be RB4 behind 2 wide receivers.
That's awesome.
So I don't know. Bad move. They paid him cheap, so I get it.
Kenneth Walker, though, is a humongous pickup for the Chiefs.
I did foreshadow it a little bit when they traded McDuffie, and I was like, they saved enough cap space or gained enough cap space by getting rid of him to bring in someone like Walker.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to have a good run game this year.
They will, and they have Justin Fields now.
That's right.
As a backup. Mahomes, I think he's shooting to come back in September after his ACL, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to have to rely on Fields and Walker for a while. Then Kelsey's coming back because I guess Taylor Swift had a huge influence on him to come back for football.
But also he said on the Pat McAfee show that he was just vibing. His body felt good. He really wanted to go back out there. And obviously Taylor has.
Oh, good. Yeah, he took a year off last year.
Well, pretty much. Pretty much.
So,
but there's still that hunger to play football, he said. And he really wants to do it. And obviously they're between him and Taylor, they're very supportive of their careers, which is I think is pretty cool. Yep. And he's going to be a billionaire in a minute. Hopefully that prenup sign, you know what I mean?
Both of them. Both of them.
But yes, they need one. Whether it's going to get to that point or not, they still need one. When there's that much money involved, yeah. I don't have one because I don't make nothing.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill is also free agent, though. He could come back.
That would be funny. Might as well. Might as well. You know that he was driving there.
Yeah, might as well keep Kareem Hunt and all his off-the-field issues. Bring in Tyreek Hill.
You don't have any
off-the-field issues. Bring in Xavier Worthy still. Or not Xavier Worthy. Rashee Rice and all of his issues.
Is Henry Ruggs getting out soon?
You might as well just sign with the Kansas City
Raiders
Chiefs
or the Chiefs.
Or the Browns.
That's funny.
But although if Tyreek did go back, then to have your wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 be Tyreek, Rice, and Worthy with
it's a sweet 1, 2, and 3
with a Kelsey and what's their backup tight end? It's like Noah Gray. Yeah. And then if you bring back Kareem Hunt, then you have K9 and Hunt in the backfield. Justin Fields at your disposal.
And then they have the number 9 overall pick.
Correct. So they could go Jeremiah Love still, even though they just signed K9, which would be stupid.
I know, yeah. Now they're not going to go Love. They could have. I think Love could have fallen. But especially what the Cardinals do at their pick. Or they could go and get a sweet edge rusher as well. I mean, maybe Ruben Bain falls to them, and then the Chiefs win 2027 Super Bowl.
They'll probably get one more before Mahomes retires. One or two
they
more.
have the makings of a solid squad coming up.
The defense, I think, is also kind of shoddy, though, because they lost their 2 starting defensive backs to the Rams. One in free agency, one was a trade. Then they lost 2 of their good outside of middle linebackers. One was Chanel. He went to the Skins. And the other one, I can't
Commanders.
remember. Same thing. Command Skins. Then Chris Jones is still there, so obviously he's the best player on that defense when he wants to play.
Yeah.
So we see. They'll probably use the number 9 pick on
some form of defense.
Exactly.
Yeah, whether that's defensive back or edge. That makes sense.
Because that is their issue.
And then when is Taylor and Travis getting married? The Chiefs are going to be the talk next year, I think. But
oh, goody.
Again. Oh, they kind of took a year off last year a little bit. But
oh, yeah, good.
They're revamping again. And what other moves? Malik Willis. Where'd he go?
Indeed. I was just on the Packers little...
He did not go to the Cardinals like I wanted.
Yeah, you're kind of going back and forth on whether you wanted him or not. You wanted him, but not for a lot of money.
Right.
So, I don't think he even got like a huge... it was a big deal for him, but not what, quote unquote, people were saying that he wanted.
Yeah, it was a 2-year, $64.3 year. It was a 3-year, $64 million deal. So definitely not the 30 that he was getting. What, 20? And the math is 22 point something.
Yeah, something like that.
Per year.
So the Packers lost a lot of people, a lot of them. So obviously Willis to the Dolphins, along with a defensive coordinator. Halfley is the head coach of the Dolphins now, and then some member of, I think they took our president or something and made them their CEO over there. So there's that, and then traded Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys for a 4th-round pick, which is good because we were just going to cut him anyway.
Right.
So we got a 4th out of it. Quay Walker to the Raiders, which is going to be a big loss. And then I'm only naming them off because I know him. Enoch Bari, who's a middle linebacker, I believe. He left. Rasheed Walker on the offensive line left. He went to the Panthers on a low deal, I believe. We cut Elton Jenkins, and then he signed with the Browns. We cut Nate Hobbs, then he signed with the Niners, which I'm not too butthurt about because that boy was booty.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Dobbs. I'm missing that. Dobbs signed with the Patriots for a 4-year, $97 million deal.
He got paid. He got a bag.
Yeah, my big head boy got paid. I miss him. What else? I think those were the only losses. I just named off 10 of them.
Yeah.
But
you guys got stripped.
Makes sense. Makes sense. We ain't win nothing, but we got good players. Then we traded for Zaire Franklin. I mentioned that when that happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah, from the Colts. That's a great pickup.
Sky Moore, who's the wide receiver, kick returner. I
Came
believe
from the Chiefs.
He came from the Niners technically, because he went from the Chiefs to the Niners and Niners to
Gotcha.
Packers. Then Javon Hargrave. He's old.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
older. He's 33, and we got rid of Kenny Clark because, one, he was expensive, and two, he was kind of like on the older side, but he was only 30.
Did you see that the video on Instagram and TikTok of his son?
Yeah, when they were in the car.
Yeah, his mom's telling him that, hey, your dad got traded.
Not traded. Did she say traded?
Maybe.
Or signed with the Packers?
Or signed with a new team. And he was like, he's a Packer. He's like super excited. He's like, yes, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's a great pickup.
And then Benjamin St. Just. He was a defensive back on the Chargers, which people don't like that move, but he played really well.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4", and he's like 220, I think, something like that. Big defensive back. So
I'm 6 foot, 215. I could play defensive back.
yeah, are you athletic though? I think you
No.
kind of lost that stride in your step.
I can make it up. No, I can't even make it up the stairs without huffing and puffing. Ain't about that life.
Yeah, 6'3", 200.
6'3", 200. And mind you, these guys are all muscle. I'm not.
Correct. This brother's probably got about like 2% body fat, if that.
I'm sitting around 4% body fat.
For sure. 44%.
Thanks.
You're welcome. He was drafted by Washington back in 21, so I think he was only on the Chargers for like a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Let me see, in his career, he has only 2 interceptions, which is unfortunate. 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble return. 243 total tackles, though, in 4 years, I believe.
I like it. It's a great pickup.
Yeah, we needed it.
Do you think the Packers are going to do anything this year?
No, it's gonna have to depend on draft work and if Golden can take over for Dobbs being gone. Obviously, Golden and Watson and Reed and Savion Williams are gonna have to collectively stay healthy for one, and because Watson and Reed can't do that.
Yeah. They missed a big time last year.
And then play consistent. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was just because Golden wasn't getting plays drawn up for him. Like, he hadn't scored a touchdown in the whole regular season at all. And then that first game against the Bears in the playoffs,
Yeah,
he scored.
touchdown.
Yeah. Then Kraft coming back will be massive. He'll probably still be like wide receiver 1, even though he's a tight end.
Yep.
Then Micah coming back. Everybody just needs to stay healthy.
You know, it's crazy when a team could stay healthy.
Yeah,
What
you
could
win.
happen?
Look at the Seahawks.
Yep.
Kenneth Walker didn't get hurt. JSN didn't get hurt. Cup wasn't hurt.
Or have an easy schedule.
Or right.
Like the Patriots.
Patriots, indeed.
Yeah. Do you know
Like-
what? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I hope Dobbs does good.
But that's it.
Correct.
That is it.
The Patriots are not going to do as good as they did. Like, historically, they had, like, one of the easiest schedules, like, ever last year. But then now, this next season, because they got so far, I think they're in, like, the top, like, 3 of hardest schedules this year.
I was going to say, what are the power rankings for next year? I know the Cardinals are at the very bottom.
Yeah, probably right next to the Browns and the
yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah, no, we're literally the last one in power rankings. And I think Seattle's up at number 1, obviously.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting. So Seahawks number 1, but they lost Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, which I think everybody knew was going to happen anyways.
They lost Kobe Bryant, Kenneth Walker, Boye Mafe. So they lost 3 important defensive pieces, and then obviously K9. Then the Rams at number 2, which I don't think they really lost anybody of importance other than like Tutu, like Atwell, who's like a very quick receiver, kind of like how Dortch is for you guys. It's like what that type of role he's rocking with. The Broncos are number 3.
Is that after the addition of Jalen Waddle?
Yes.
Because that is an amazing pickup for the Broncos. Because we already know Bo Nix can sling the ball.
Well, yeah, and then
have Jalen Waddle there
and
with
Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Like, you're going to watch out for the Broncos. Because the Broncos, had Bo Nix not gotten hurt, we're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt in my mind. If you're an NFL fan, you know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jarrett Stidham stood no chance.
Yeah, exactly. Like, when it came out that he broke his ankle, you automatically knew the Broncos had no chance.
Mm-hmm.
You knew the outcome of that game already.
Which
is unfortunate
yeah.
because of Seattle and a Broncos Super Bowl would have been way better.
Mm-hmm.
Way better and competitive.
And Denver re-signed J.K. Dobbins, too, so they still have Dobbins and Harvey together. And then I'm totally blanking on their tight ends and their wide receiver 3 as well.
Franklin.
Yes.
That's their wide receiver 3.
Correct.
I'm blanking on their tight ends as well.
Evan Ingram.
Ah, that's right.
That's right. When he's healthy, is good, but not so much lately. Then number 4 is the Bills, which they signed Bradley Chubb, traded for DJ Moore.
That's right. Those are 2 good moves.
Needed. They're both older, but
still good
moves that they needed, because I don't think Bosa is coming back to the Bills.
Yeah, that's right, huh?
Then the Bills also cut Curtis Samuel, one of their wide receivers. Then number 5, the Niners.
Of course.
Since they signed Mike Evans, they're going to relieve.
That's right. The
Ayuk
Niners have Mike
duty.
Evans. Get out. Get out of my division, bro. Get this Hall of Famer out of my division today.
I don't get it. He said, all the players are supposed to say certain things to hype up their new teams, yada, yada, yada. And then he was like, I felt like this team was like one piece away from like winning the Super Bowl or like going to the Super Bowl, although the Seahawks beat the Niners by like 40 in that game to go to the Super Bowl. So unless you were tossing up like 5 touchdowns,
yeah, for real,
you was not that one piece. They needed a lot more.
And they were just injury-ridden, but still made it that far, which obviously they have the cheat code for that, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, somehow, some way. And then number 6, they moved up 9 spots, which is the most drastic change I've seen so far, is the Ravens.
Because of Trey?
Yes.
Only because of Trey?
Correct. Even though they lost Linderbaum,
right,
the center. Obviously, he went to the Raiders, who spent about $1 million in free agency.
And Picard.
And the Ravens lost a lot of people.
They did.
They lost their punter, who's one of the best punters in the league. They lost their coach, obviously, and they're both on the Giants. They lost Ricard, also on the Giants.
Who?
Linderbaum to the Raiders.
Wasn't there receivers that left from the Ravens to the Giants? I can't think of it.
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Ravens receivers because they're always irrelevant, other than like Zay Jones and Hopkins when he's there.
I can't remember, but it was like the Baltimore Giants or something people were saying.
Correct. But good news is, for the Ravens, they like old receivers. And Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs are both free. So one of them, although our sister would not like either one of them,
them hoodlums.
one of them is probably going to sign there because I don't see why not.
Right.
To play with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Being number 6, though, that's high.
I know. I don't know.
That's way too high for them, I think.
I don't know why.
There's a lot of unknowns.
I don't know if it's like a new defensive-minded head coach and mentor. And
right. Especially with the new head coach. Number 6 is too high for them.
Hendrickson and then Lamar, I guess, obviously MVP and stuff, all that jazz. But and Njoku, he had a meeting with the Ravens the other day, so it would be like Andrews. Yeah. It was Isaiah Likely. He went to the Giants. That's
right. That's who I was thinking about.
Yeah.
That's right.
Somebody said that Harbaugh purposely made the Ravens sign Andrews to a 3-year extension during the season, so he could
only to get Likely
on his own team. Yeah,
conspiracies.
It'd be pretty funny. It would make sense though, because Likely's a better tight end right now.
Yeah,
but the Ravens did a lot of losing like players as opposed to like gaining them.
Yeah, we'll see what they do to fill the slots this year. But I think number 6 is too high.
I believe so.
I would put them in the middle of the pack somewhere, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
That's where I would put them.
Then the Patriots at number 7, they dropped 4 spots.
I think going into this next year, too high for them, too.
They added Draymond Jones from the Ravens, Kevin Byard from the Bears, Dobbs from the Packers, and then Elijah Vera-Tucker, who's the offensive tackle.
You got Byard?
Yeah. Byard's old. He went from the Titans to the Bears to Patriots. Although I'm still glad that he's not in the Bears anymore. The Bears lost their whole secondary. Like all their safeties and all their DBs all go bye-bye.
Love it.
It's wonderful to look at. It's scrumptious. The Texans are number 8.
Surprising. But they did gain David Montgomery.
Correct. So now you have like a bajillion running backs in that backfield.
But then they let go Joe Mixon.
They did. So they cut Joe Mixon. So they have Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, and David Montgomery.
Because we were talking before, one of them was going to have to go. I didn't think it was going to be Joe, but...
Well, he was also only on the Texans last year, I believe.
Yeah, for like 2 snaps.
A few games, yeah, because he got hurt, then he came back, got hurt again.
Right.
Da-da-da-da-da. Then number 9, the Bears.
Bears.
They
Bears.
got Devin Bush to replace Tremaine Edmonds, got Kobe Bryant to replace Kevin Byard. They lost DJ Moore. But then here, it says they have 4 picks in the top 89. So I don't...
They're going to pick a receiver.
Most likely, probably with like number 2, number 3. And they're high on Luther Burden, the kid that they drafted last year. So I have him with Adonze.
Luther Burden the third.
Yes. Him with Adonze together. Cole Kmet, Colson Loveland. Then still Swift in the backfield.
They got a good team.
I know, that's the only...
As long as they can beef up their defense again after losing all those guys.
Which they did a little bit.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather have Tremaine Edmonds instead of Devin Bush, and I'd rather probably have Kobe Bryant right now instead of Byard. But we'll see. We shall see. The Eagles are number 10. They lost Jalen Phillips to the Panthers, Nakobe Dean to the Raiders, then Reed Blankenship to the Texans, but also got
That's right.
Tariq Woolen from the Seahawks. So now it's still Cooper DeJean. Oh, man. Another super good defensive back there, and I can't... They just also traded away Sidney Brown to the Falcons. That was today for draft picks, I believe. I'm totally blanking on that dude's name. He's another DB.
For the Eagles?
Yeah.
I can't remember either.
I'm going to remember it eventually. Then there's rumors that the Patriots and the Eagles already have like a trade in tow for A.J. Brown to the Pats after June 1st. Because if they're to do it before June 1st, the Eagles have $40 million in dead cap. And then after the fact, they have $20 million in dead cap instead. So...
Interesting.
Chargers are number 11. Just a lot of offensive line moves, it looks like. Just cuts and signs. The Jags are number 12.
They lost Travis Etienne to the Saints.
Correct, but his last name is not pronounced Etienne. It's called like also Achan, he said apparently. He said in his introductory conference when he was in college, he was like getting sick of trying to correct people and how to say his last name, so he just ran with it. But then now he has a chance to like say it again and be like, hey.
It's Achan?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, it's spelled like Achan then.
Well, yeah, we don't make the spelling of things.
Well, that's whatever. Etienne it is.
Yeah, they did also lose Devin Lloyd and Greg Newsome on the defensive side. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 13.
Too high.
They lost Isaac Samalo to the Cardinals. Just an offensive lineman.
Yep.
Then lost Kenneth Gainwell to the Bucks. They added Jamel Dean, Jaquan Brisker, and Darnell Savage to the secondary. Then traded for Michael Pittman from the Colts.
Yeah, that's right.
And then signed Rico Dowdle.
I was gonna say they got rid of Gainwell because they got somebody way better.
Correct. So
Rico.
Rico should and will start
for sure
for that team over Jalen Warren. I don't see why he wouldn't.
So who's gonna be the quarterback for that team?
Probably Rodgers. I don't see why it wouldn't be Rodgers. If Rodgers still wants to play football, that'd be the only team that he goes to because Mike McCarthy is the coach now,
right?
Instead of Tomlin. Number 14, Kansas City.
Boo. No.
Traded for Justin Fields, signed Kenneth Walker. We talked about it.
Yep. 15.
Packers.
Ooh, Packers are in the
In
middle.
the middle of the pack.
Middle of the... I get it.
So there you go. They watched Malik Willis, Romeo Dobbs, Quay Walker, Kingsley Nagbari, Rashawn Gary, Elton Jenkins. Oh, walk.
Hey, who's Malik Willis going to be thrown to now? Who's the wide receivers for the Dolphins? If you don't have Hill and you don't have Waddle, who's 2, 3, and 4?
Achan, as in Devon.
Yeah, I saw somebody on Instagram saying that Achan about to get the ball like 48 times.
Yeah, they said he was going to have a LaDainian Tomlinson type season.
Yeah, for
just
real.
Because of...
He's going to be high on fantasy drafts for sure.
Let me look up the
But
Dolphins
what are the Dolphins?
roster.
Yeah, what are the Dolphins receivers right now compared to where they are at?
Well, they have Greg Dulcich at tight end, Malik Washington wide receiver, Jalen Tolbert, who they got from the Cowboys, Tutu Atwell, who they got from the Rams.
But those aren't future. Those are just
Correct.
a lot 2, 3s, and 4s.
Correct.
Because you got rid of Waddle, who is your true number 1.
Correct. But, I mean...
Where do they sit in the draft this year?
Pretty high, I think.
Because Jordan Tyson's out there, and so is the kid from Ohio State. So if they sit high, and those boys fall, which they're going to fall.
Number 11 and number 30.
Okay, so they're picking up one of those 2 wide receivers. Jordan Tyson's going to be a Dolphin.
I think they have 11 total picks in the draft.
Yeah, they're going wide receiver somewhere. But they need to go wide. If they sign Malik to a 3-year deal, they got to give him weapons. And they obviously have Devon, but he's a running back, and you need a true wide receiver.
It's so weird because, like, if you're going to
sign him.
Sign Malik, and then you have, like, a new head coach, obviously, and a new president or CEO, whoever he was, I can't remember, all from the Packers. And then you cut Tyreek earlier in the season or off season. Then you still have HN. I don't see why you would get rid of Waddle right now. Like, let him rock 1 year with Willis and then see what happens from there.
What did they get for Waddle, if anything?
Number 30. They got the number 30 pick from the Broncos is what it was.
That's right. They did get the Broncos first-round pick.
Yeah.
And they had the 11th pick?
Yeah, 11 and 30.
So, yeah, no, Jordan Tyson is average to go around 11, 12, 13, 14.
They have a plan. It might not be a good one.
But they get rid of Jalen Waddle for the 30th pick in the first round?
Yeah, which I think Waddle was in the mid-teens when he got drafted.
Right. I think it's a stupid move.
Correct.
For the Dolphins, I think, to get rid of Jalen. But obviously they like somebody in the draft.
Or they could just use it for more trades.
Yeah.
Or they trade 11 or something. I don't know. Not a Dolphins fan, so.
Me neither.
I ain't got to worry about it.
Move on.
Number 16 is the Lions.
And we all know they ain't doing nothing this year.
It seems like a lot of people either retired from the Lions or wanted out. But yeah, it'll be nice. Panthers number 17. They got 2 of the best linebackers in free agency with Devin Lloyd and then Jalen Phillips. Colts number 18. After their hot start, they still got all the boys. They re-signed Alec Pierce. They re-signed Jones. Lost Pittman.
I have thoughts on the Alex Pierce signing.
It's too much money.
Way too much money. And you signed Jones to a lot of money too. 2 years, almost $100 million.
Yeah, 2-year, 88.
It could be $100 million. Last time the Giants signed him to a big deal, that didn't work out. I don't see the Colts going anywhere. I don't see Daniel Jones being good next year. I don't see the Colts being good next year. Because now both Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones got their money, and now they're just going to sit back.
And then Jonathan Taylor's going to want his money, and then if he doesn't get it, he's leaving.
Right, exactly.
That is the backbone.
And and you trade Pittman? No. Keep Pittman. Trade Alec. But that's just my thoughts.
They can't trade a free agent, so.
That's true.
I don't even remember what they got back for that. Then number 19 is the Buccaneers.
Books.
Because they lost Mike Evans and then Jamil Dean. Gained Kenneth Gainwell, Alex Anzalone from the Lions, Ashawn Robinson from the Panthers, and Al-Quadin Muhammad, I think, from the Lions as well.
So who's RB1 now then? Is it Bucky Irving? Is it Gainwell?
It is not Gainwell, brother.
Right.
And then where'd Rachaad White go? He went somewhere.
I can't remember.
I
don't remember seeing his name.
I'm pretty sure he went somewhere there for like a low deal. Redskins. Commanders, my fault. Yep. Same thing. So yeah, he's there. They made a lot of moves. I don't know how they're not higher in the rankings, actually. And then the Cowboys are number 20. Doesn't say much. I mean, obviously they have Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark on the defensive line.
We all know the Cowboys ain't going to do nothing.
Correct. The Bengals at 21. They moved up 4 spots. Lost Trey Hendrickson. Obviously, they signed Brian Cook, Jonathan Allen, and Boy Mafe, like we said. Falcons are number 22, right where they left last year. And they both have Michael Penix and Tua for their quarterbacks. They
Yeah, boy.
franchise tagged Kyle Pitts, lost Algier, and they lost Mooney, I believe, as well. So they obviously still have Pitts, they still have Bijan, they still have London. So we'll see. 23 is the Saints. Obviously, we said they gained Travis Etienne. Then the Commanders at 24, they made a lot of moves. Too many to name off.
Yeah, that's 25. You know how
And they're in the hunt, I guess, for Brandon Ayuk if they were to trade him.
That's right.
Or cut him for the Niners. The Vikings are 25, which is lovely to see. They lost a lot of people as well. Signing Kyler Murray, I think, was really like the only thing that they did. And then re-signing Aaron Jones. Titans at 26 gained Wan'Dale Robinson. The Giants at 27 just re-signed some people. And they're in the hunt, I guess, to get Jeremiah Love.
Who is?
Giants.
Why? I did see something about that.
Just to have another young guy, I guess. Love with Scat and Dart. I don't know. Unless you want to change Scat to like a tight end or something. I don't know. But
No.
I know. They're probably just bagging on Scat to not make it out of his rookie year or rookie contract because he's going to be dead by the time he gets there. The Browns at 28.
Makes sense.
Raiders at 29.
Makes sense.
After everything. They've made a lot of moves.
At 30, huh?
Dolphins at 30.
Oh.
So I wonder who's going to be the last. Is it Jets or Cardinals? 31 or 32?
Jets cards.
The Jets ranked number 31.
Yep.
And the Cardinals at the absolute bottom spot
I knew it.
at 32.
Grade F for our organization. Legit. We got an F rating. And then we won 3 games last year. We suck. That's the way it is. I'm used to it. All good. But yeah. And we're going to suck again next year. And it was very apparent to me once they signed Minshew and named Jacoby the starter that same day. Oh, we're tanking.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Very
teams that
apparent.
really
I was like,
tanking.
well, maybe they'll try. Get something. But this quarterback draft is not very quarterback heavy.
No, the 2027 draft is loaded
That's why
with
they're
a bunch of talent.
They're tanking.
So
They're tanking. The Jets are tanking. Who else? Anybody else going to tank?
probably the Falcons.
Yeah.
Maybe the Saints.
We'll see.
Unintentionally. Dolphins.
Alrighty. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No. Not that I could think of.
I think we made all the major move talks, or talks of the major moves out there.
Probably United States beat Canada again in a sport. Got another gold medal.
I think we already talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Nope. Because it's happened within this last 10 to 14 days.
Oh, look at that.
It was like sled hockey, I think, something like that.
And the WBC, World Baseball Classic.
Venezuela won against the U.S.
won. Freaking Eduardo Rodriguez from the Diamondbacks, of all people, carved them up. You know what he did all year last year? Freaking meatball-sized baseballs to anybody. And they were just boop, 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 all day long. Home runs, hits. Like, the dude just... I better not get meatball Eduardo next year. Or next week. Like, if we can have the Eduardo that showed up for Venezuela show up for the Diamondbacks, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll see.
That'd be great. But I don't hold too much hope for the Diamondbacks. I do love them. But I know where we stand.
Mm-hmm. Last.
Yep. Barely out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this episode of the Sports Hive Show. Remember that we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can subscribe to all three. Sorry. And then go ahead and tell your friends and family members. That'd be fantastic. Give us a rating and a follow and a review. I would love it. Until next time.
Yippee.